welcome. My name is Maddie. Welcome to my channel. I am an avid reader, and with that comes lots of different series I pick up and don't finish. It's a little bit of an issue. I thought it'd be fun, I don't know if fun's the right word, maybe torturous, to go through all of these series that I am in the middle of and just do a whole count, and then also decide if I just want to DNF some of these series or complete them. So this is the first video in a series. In this video, I'm just gonna go through all of the book series I'm currently in the middle of, and then in future videos, I'm gonna be doing like a series takedown and kind of just complete the series that I'm in the middle of. Okay, so I've put all my book series just in random stacks on the floor. So this is gonna be in no particular order because I wasn't organized enough for that. So I'm literally just gonna grab right off the stack here. So first, I have Sisters of Salt series by Erin Craig. So this is House of Salt and Sorrows, the first book, and then House of Roots and Ruin, the second book. I'm going to be continuing this series, no doubt about it. I love this series. I love Erin Craig. I think the next book comes out next year. So good. I'm definitely going to be continuing this series. Next, we have Book of Night by Holly Black. I am going to be continuing this series. This, I believe it's a duology. The second book actually comes out later this year. It's called Thief of Night. I am going to be starting that semi-soon, and so I'll be completing this series. So, there's that one. Next, we have This Savage Song. The next book in this duology is out. It's Our Dark Duet. I think it's honestly been out for forever. I read this book earlier this year. I'm on the fence about completing this series. I'm not going to lie. The first book was okay. I wasn't obsessed or anything, so honestly, I'm on the fence about it. Let me know if I should continue the series. I love V.E. Schwab, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm DNFing the series, but I don't know that I'm gonna continue it either, so. Okay, next I have the Lightlark series. I have only read the first two. I know the third one's out, and I know like 2 more books. I think following the 2 MMC's POV, I think those are out in the fall maybe, but Lightlark and Nightbane, these are okay. I kind of said I wasn't going to continue the series, but now I'm thinking I might. I kind of have the same feeling as I did with This Savage Song. I'm not going to necessarily say I'm DNFing the series, but I don't know that I'll continue. We'll see. I'll say I am, just to put it in that pile. Next I have Howl's Moving Castle. I did read the first book. I don't think I'm going to continue the series. I honestly just read the first book because of the movie, so that's great. Also, this cover though, like, can we just appreciate how stunning it is? It's gorgeous. I did really enjoy this book though. I thought it was really funny, but I'm not going to continue the series. So next I have The Naturals. I have only read the first book, and I read it a long time ago. Like, sorry, before it was popular, I read it, and I didn't like it that much. I felt that the plot twist at the end was really obvious, and so I think that's the main reason I disliked it. Again, there was a love triangle, and so I did something really bad that I've never done before, and I will never do again, by the way. I looked up who the main girl ends up with at the end of the series, and I was like, that's not the guy I like. So that also makes me not want to read it, but the series got a lot of hype last year, I think, and so it makes me want to read it. I have FOMO. So again, not DNFing it, but also I'm not necessarily gonna pick it up anytime soon, so I'll keep these books like just in case. But I know I'm missing the last one, but you know. Okay, I have a bit of a throwback. Maze Runner. I read the first 2 books when I was like in middle school or high school or something, and then I didn't own Death Cure at the time, so I never read it. I have just never finished the series. Obviously, that's why it's in this video. Am I gonna complete the series? I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna say yes. I want to say eventually I will read Death Cure and just complete the original trilogy, and then I probably won't ever read Kill Order. There's the other one too, Fever Code. I don't think I'll ever read either of those books, but I probably will eventually finish the original trilogy. Next I have Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I read this book, I want to say a year ago. I enjoyed it a good amount. I had a good time with it. The issue is I've heard so many people say they weren't a fan of the second book, like it dragged on, and both the second and the third book are chunky. So I honestly don't think I'm ever going to finish this series. I don't feel like I liked it enough to commit to those 2 other books, especially if they're really slow. So I'm DNFing this series. Next, I have Fourth Wing. I'm DNFing the series. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not like a hater. I did read this book and I really enjoyed it when I read it. Looking back, I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I did in the moment. And then I did read half of Iron Flame. I don't know, it's not really for me. I don't think I care enough about the series to continue it. Yeah, I am gonna DNF this series, but not a hater. If you love this series, I love that for you, but it's just not for me. Okay, next is another series that's not actually complete, and that is This Woven Kingdom. So I have read This Woven Kingdom and These Infinite Threads and All This Twisted Glory. I am 100% completing this series. I am so excited for every Spiral of Fate to come out. Like, you don't even understand. I need to find a way to get an arc of this book. Obsessed, 100% continuing this series. Next, I have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I'm actually still reading this book. I'm almost done. I have like less than 100 pages left. But this just came out, and I can say already I'm going to continue this series. No doubt about it in my mind. I'm obsessed. Are you kidding me? This is such a good read. This pulled me out of my reading slump. Like, I'm loving this book so much. I didn't finish it, but I already know. I am going to continue this series. Continuing this series 100%. Okay, next I have a fan favorite right now, which is The Hunger Games. I read the first 2 books in middle school, probably, and then I never continued the series. What happened was I read the first 2 books and enjoyed them, and then I watched the movies. Like a fool, I watched the movies, and I didn't enjoy Mockingjay Part 1 or 2 very much, and so I was like, I don't really care to continue the series. But then, then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out, right? And it got so much hype, and I was like, oh, should I have read that book? Didn't read it. And now Sunrise on the Reaping is out, and I'm like, I feel so much FOMO. Like, I'm like, I need to read this book. But now I have to go through and read these before I can read Sunrise on the Reaping. Like, I know it's a prequel, so I can technically just read it now, but I wouldn't want to. I'd want to read these first. I am going to continue this series, or I am going to read it. It's just kind of a lot of commitment, so... But I'm going to continue this series. Don't you worry, I'll read The Hunger Games. Next, we have the Shatter Me series. I am actually currently reading the last book, not counting the last novella. I'm currently reading Imagine Me, and then I have the novella, and then I'm done. I'm actually almost done with Imagine Me. I'm like 75% in or something. I am going to finish this series soon, so I'll be able to check it off my list, and that's so exciting because this is a long series, and so it'll be super fun when I actually can be like, I finished, and I've completed the series. Like, that's so fun. This is such a long series. I'm going to finish it. That's so exciting. Anyways, I am going to finish this series very soon, in fact. Next, I have Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I read Vicious, have not read Vengeful. I loved Vicious. I had such a good time reading it. But then I heard a lot of people say that Vengeful is just okay. Like, people were saying it's unnecessary. And so I didn't read it right away. And now I'm like, dang, I kind of, not missed my chance, but like the motivation is kind of gone, you know? But I definitely am going to complete this series eventually. Lately, though, I have been more interested in picking up Vengeful, so it'll probably happen soon. Next, we have A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. Love this book, 5 stars. The second book is not actually out yet, but it's out in a few months, and I already have it pre-ordered. I'm 100% finishing the series, and I saw like a couple days ago that she announced a novella that's supposed to come out like right before Christmas, so you know I'm going to be buying that. I love this book. This was a 5-star book for me, so completing the series for sure. Next, I have the Lunar Chronicles. I have currently read Cinder, and then the second one's Scarlet. I don't own the second one. I don't know. And then Cress, I have not read yet. All the books in this series are out as well, so that's nice. But I will be completing this series. Next, I have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I have read actually over half of this series. This is the first book. I've also read the second one, Starsight, and then the novellas, Skyward Flight. I'm a little bit torn on this series because the first book I loved. I had so much fun reading this book. And then the second book I did not like. I was feeling like there was way too much world building. I didn't like certain things that were happening. Don't want to spoil anything. And then Skyward Flight, which is basically 3 novellas. I loved that book so much. It gave me the same feeling as Skyward. And so then I'm like, should I continue the series? Because I was thinking of just DNFing it. But after reading Skyward Flight, I'm going to continue the series and read the last 2 books. I have heard the third book, which I think is called Cytonic. I heard that one is not the greatest. It's kind of similar to Starsight. But I heard the 4th book, which I think is Defiant, is super good. So I'm going to continue the series. I will finish it eventually. Next, we have Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. I read this book forever ago. I annotated it for a friend. And it's like a duology. So when it's a duology, it makes me think I should just finish it because it's one other book and then I've completed the series. And I own the other book. I don't think I'm going to finish it though. I wasn't a huge fan of the first book. I'll keep it just in case, but I'm kind of like, I'm not attached to the characters anymore. Like I said, it was a while ago, so I don't feel like I'll ever actually finish it. Can you believe I still have like 2 more stacks to go through? Holy cow. Next we have the Shadow and Bone series. I read Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm, and so all I have left is Ruin and Rising, which I started a while ago, but I actually need to take this out because, oh my gosh, I ended in the middle of a chapter too. This was years ago. This has to go. I'm gonna have to restart this book, but I can't believe I paused in the middle of a chapter. That's so annoying. I hate when I do that. Anyways, the only one I've left is Ruin and Rising. So I love Six of Crows. Six of Crows, love that book series so much. Best duology I think I've ever read. I'm like trying to think if that's true. I think it's true. I love that series. Like, oh, okay. Shadow and Bone, didn't really enjoy. Yeah, didn't really like Shadow and Bone or Siege and Storm. The only reason I am gonna complete the series is because I want to read King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. I love Nikolai actually, so I just want to read those books. And I heard Nina makes an appearance, or she's like in those books, which is very exciting. So I will be completing the series. Next we have These Hollow Vows. I'm not completing the series. I read this a long time ago. I wasn't a big fan, and I thought it was a duology, so I was like, okay, I'll just finish it. And so I started the second book, DNF'd the second book. I was not enjoying myself. And then I found out, I think the other day, is there a third book? Is it more than 2 books? I'm not 100% on that, but what I do know is I will not be completing the series. Next, I have An Ember in the Ashes. I read An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night in high school. And then I think there are 4 books in the series. I didn't continue it. This is a kind of a fun fact. I actually listened to these on audiobook, and this was before I had like anything. And so I found someone's audiobook on YouTube, and I just listened to it that way. And I was like cleaning my room and doing different random things whilst I listened to these. So that's a very interesting way to do it, but it worked out really well for me. I did really enjoy these. I think I would need to reread them, or at least read like a summary before I do the third book, because like I said, it was a while ago. I want to say it was like 7 to 10 years ago, so would probably need a refresh, but I am going to continue this series. Next we have Warcross by Marie Lu. I am not going to continue this series. Same thing, I read Warcross like years ago, and I actually annotated it for a friend, and then I didn't actually like it that much, and so I never read Wildcard. And I'm definitely not going to complete the series because it's been so long ago, I didn't care about it that much. So yeah, I'm DNFing this series. Next, I have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I'm not going to DNF this. I read The Atlas 6 quite a while ago now, and I did enjoy it, but I remember when I read it, I was so confused the whole time. I just felt kind of dumb when I was reading it, and at that time when I read it, the second book wasn't even released yet. I couldn't have read The Atlas Paradox even if I wanted to, and now I've just owned this since it came out, and I haven't touched it. I haven't even thought about picking it up. So yeah, The Atlas 6, I will continue this series, I think. Just a matter of when. Next, I have The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Krista Broadbent. I will not be continuing this series. I actually didn't even finish the first book. I DNF'd the first book like maybe 30% in. Yeah, I just really wasn't enjoying myself. I don't know, the writing style wasn't really my favorite, and some of the things that were going on weren't my favorite, so DNF'd it. Gonna DNF the whole series, so I will not be completing the series. Next, I have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I have only read The Red Queen. I read it a while ago. It was okay. I thought it was fine. I wasn't mad about it. It was good. It was a good book. But a friend of mine, we have very similar taste. She read through, I think she read all the way to King's Cage, maybe a little further, I don't know. But she was telling me she was getting very frustrated with the books and the characters and the decisions they were making, so she actually DNF the series. And she kind of told me she didn't think I would like it, so I am going to DNF the series. I also want to say, not even just going off that, I read this book, the first book, years ago, and I have never once reached for any of the other books, so I obviously didn't like it that much. Anyways, I will not be continuing the Red Queen series. Getting down to the last couple series here. I have Sorcery of Thorns. This is an okay book. I'm pretty sure this isn't technically a series. Like, there's one other book, but I think it's just like a novella. So I am going to continue this series. I'll complete it if that's true. If for some reason, like 3 other books came out in this series, I would not be continuing it. But because it's just like one novella, it's like 150 pages or something, I will continue it. So I will be completing this series. Hopefully soon. Next, I have Fable. I'm not gonna lie, I was not going to continue this series, but then everybody was making a huge deal out of Saint, which is the prequel to this book, and I was like, okay, I think I needed to complete the series. So I've only read Fables still, so there's still Namesake and then Saint, but I will be completing this series. I don't own Namesake, so I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen at some point in my life. Next, I have the Percy Jackson series. This one was annotated for me by my friend. Isn't that so fun? Anyways, I've read all 3 of these. Are there 5 books in the series? I'm just embarrassing myself. I actually don't know how many books are in this series. Is it 5? That is so embarrassing that I don't just know it off the top of my head, but like, girl, I've never read these. I will be continuing the series. I will be finishing it. Last we have 5 Broken Blades. I actually don't think I'll be continuing this series. To be fully honest, I bought this because of the sprayed edges. It's gorgeous. Also, it did sound like an interesting book, and it was interesting. There were just some things about it that bugged me, so I will not be continuing this series. Okay, I just remembered actually a couple book series that I'm in the middle of, but I've been reading on my Kindle. One of them is The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I will be completing the series. I don't own it physically, and the second book I think is out towards the end of the year. Not positive on that, but I will be completing the series. I did enjoy it quite a bit, the first book. Also, can I just say, for my Six of Crows girlies, so I audiobooked Dagger and the Flame. The MMC is voiced by the same guy who plays Kaz in the Shadow and Bone series on Netflix. So that was such a sweet treat. When I was listening to it, I didn't know, and I was like, where have I heard this guy's voice before? And I was like, oh, it's Kaz. So I highly recommend audiobooking that book. And then the other series I'm in the middle of is the Hurricane Wars. I don't know that I'll be completing that series. I feel like I will continue that series. It's definitely like low on my priority list, but I will be completing Hurricane Wars. Wow, that's all of them. So let me go through and count how many book series I have DNF'd in this video, how many I'll be continuing. Yeah. Okay, so in total, I am DNFing 9 series. That's actually a lot. I feel good about that number though. Like, I feel good about all the series I'm DNFing too. Also, don't hold me to that necessarily. I am soft DNFing it, and I most likely won't pick it up again, but maybe one day I will come back to the series and want to read it. For me right now, I'm saying I'm not going to complete the series. Maybe later I'll change my mind. No one hold me to that. That's all I'm saying. And I'm currently in the middle of 22 book series. Honestly, that's not that bad. I thought it would be quite a bit larger of a number. I was thinking more like 25 to 30. So 22, not that bad. Yeah, so the goal now is to A, complete the series I'm in the middle of, and then B, try not to pick up another series, because yes, 22 is less than I was originally thinking, but that doesn't mean I need to just start a bunch of series now. Like, complete the ones you're in the middle of, please. Anyways, though, I am pleasantly surprised by the number of series I'm in the middle of. Yeah, that was all of the book series I'm currently in the middle of. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it at least somewhat interesting. Like I said, this will be like the first video in a series. I love series, as we know. The rest of the videos will be more like me hopefully completing these series that I've just been talking about. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.